Some would be entertained by it. Some would be horrified by
KO Carolina Jackpot Hall.
All would be interested in it.
The Rob and KO podcast.
Some would be horrified by
KO Carolina Jackpot.
And welcome into the Rob and KO podcast. I'm Rob Sanders. Thanks for joining us this weekend. As we get, we're in Labor Day weekend, and my chunky ass decided to oversleep with my nap. So that's why we're late. It has absolutely nothing to do with the absolute number one Gamecock YouTube on the planet. He is not in the Big L this weekend. He is in the Palmetto State, by God. He is, of course, Carolina Jackpot, Cale Hall. What's up, buddy?
He's just a common man, working hard with his hands.
What up, gang Lang? How's everybody doing tonight? Watching a little football. This game's at halftime. Disappointing the fuck out of me. I gotta tell you.
So what's disappointing you, Jackpot? The game at the half?
Yeah, well, I mean, LSU looks awful. I mean, really bad. And here's the thing. I mean, Florida State, I mean, they've elevated their level of play. Now, albeit LSU's not very good from what I can see, but they are 10 times better than what I've seen from this team the past 3 or 4 years. So, yeah, I don't know. They're playing with excitement and passion, running around the football. It's kind of like what I didn't see last night from our team. I saw some more of the same old from my team. It was like I'm watching the Missouri game from last year all over again. And well, this team looks totally different. So I'm like, yeah, whatever.
Already the dum-dums falling in here. Kentucky Durban says, how about that ACC? What Kentucky Durban should be doing is talking about how the fact that LSU looks like they're going to suck an absolute asshole. And they're one of the teams that are in the conference that they should be trying to get a leg up on because they're Kentucky and not really a good football program. But they got to ride that SEC dick, though. SEC. The amount of dumb that I've seen about the SEC this weekend about, we won all of our fucking conference games. Let's all talk about that. How about this? Here are the only certainties that we've had this weekend. Georgia's the best team in the fucking country. South Carolina is going to be average until they can learn to block on the offensive line. North Carolina's defense got used like a whore on dollar blowjob night. Chase Bryce is a good quarterback and probably should still be at Clemson. And other than that, we really don't know a lot. There you go. There's the recap for the entire show.
NC State is overrated.
Yes, I forgot that. That's why Jackpot's my co-host, because I do miss
NC State is overrated and should have gotten lost, and that has nothing to do with the ACC. I hate NC State, period, but they should have lost yesterday. I was very upset by that. I feel sorry for that guy, but yep. I mean, it was his kick. He blew it. So
not Chris blew it, just blew it.
No, this was Owen Daffer who blew it.
What, Daffer? That's funny. Anyway, I was supposed to write something for DNC Trucking and Transport tonight, but I forgot to do it. So with that, I just wanted to thank Dennis for sponsoring the show, and we'll have something nice and good for him on Wednesday. All right, because my chunky ass just woke up. I ain't gonna lie about it.
How about this? Let me try one. It sucks to be a Gamecock. Our team won last night despite our offensive line not being able to block a turd in a toilet. We are so pathetic and vanilla and wet fart on offense that we may just lose to Vanderbilt this year. It sucks to be a Gamecock. Go Tigers.
That message courtesy of Dennis Wilson, DNC Trucking and Transport. Big Barney Ross says JT Daniels is terrible. Well, we can make that argument. Those are things that are right there in the mix. But anyway, thanks to our good buddy Dennis Wilson for sponsoring the show, who I did speak with a minute earlier. We have to thank Callaway's Bar and Grill. Thanks them for sponsoring the Callaway's Pick'em Challenge. U2, if you're in it, actually we've closed it. So you can't get in it now. Now you can watch from afar and think, you know what? I was a dumb fuck to not get in this damn challenge. I don't like money. I don't like picking football games. I don't like any of that. That's what the Callaway's Pick'em Challenge is about. And you know what you can do is get in our bowl challenge, which we will have this season. And you can watch all the fun we're going to have all season. And someone's going to win a shit ton of money, and you're not. That sucks to be you. So anyway,
I had a few people actually got in yesterday morning.
Well, there you go. At least they got in. All right. Callaway's Bar and Grill, Callaway'sBarandGrill.com. You Georgia fans coming to town, not next week, but the week after. That's the way that it is, man. You guys should go to Callaway's, go in there, play yourself a nice local spot. Jackpot, when you go out of town, do you go to like Applebee's and eat dinner, or do you try to find local places, man?
It's a variety. I have a few spots in the Big L that I frequent, and I'm like one of those people who get stuck on certain places, and I don't really go hardly anywhere else. So local spots there really. I wasn't eating at Denny's a lot, but then I got tired of that. So there was a good mom and pop country buffet that I like to go to, but they decided to start opening from 6 to 10 on Monday through Thursday, so they could just do breakfast and stop doing the buffet in the evenings. So now they only do that on Friday and Saturday night when I'm not there. So that sucks. But
try.
Yeah. There's a Mexican restaurant, the Big L, right off the exit, the first Big L exit that doesn't look like much. El Zarape de Antonio, but it is out of this world excellent. And
can you repeat the name of that again? Because I did not know that you could speak Spanish.
El Zarape de Antonio, but like you can get a shredded chicken nachos and cheese there for $5.99. They still have like 2010 pricing in the place.
God damn, that's great. Anyway, really quick before we start our recap, ladies and gentlemen, you need to watch my buddy here, Carolina Jackpot, with his live streams, because it is some of the absolute best content on YouTube, period. He live streams during the game, whatever South Carolina's playing. And I don't like seeing Jackpot get upset. What I do like is when dumb fucks pick at Jackpot and Jackpot hits them back. So what I'm going to do is recreate just a little bit of a piece that I saw last night. Okay? Because I'm not going to, I could play the video because someone, Jackpot, loves you enough that they actually recorded it and sent it to me. And I could play the video piece, but I don't want to do that because I'd have to figure out all that stuff, and it would take me a minute. But the gist of it is some gentleman, actually, it's not some gentleman, it's a dickhead named Zach. I don't remember Zach's last name. Asked Jackpot if he had his cholesterol under control. And Jackpot said, well, yeah. The big thing is that I figured out basically where I got my cholesterol was from eating Zach's mom's snatch. Because cholesterol. These are the things that you will find on screen on game days. And you know what? Would you be upset if I actually played that piece on the show here, Jackpot? Because it made me laugh really hard.
Yeah, if you want to, yeah. That live stream is now unlisted. So if anyone would like for me to send that to you, I can certainly send that over to you on Twitter or Facebook Messenger. But I put it to private. It was so much bad language there.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna. That's why I asked if I could play this piece, because it is private. And how do people find it then, Jack? I'm telling people to go there, and you're like, yeah, it's bad. My fault.
No, I still have it, but I have to send them the link if they want to watch the video. It's not you can't find it anymore. It's not on the page.
But if you want to watch it live, you can just find it, right? It's that simple, right?
No, I mean, no, it's not there anymore for you to find. It still exists, but I have to send them the link.
But for next week's game, they'll be able to find the live version. You can watch it live. You just can't go back and watch the recorded version. That's what
Yeah,
you're saying.
sometimes you can, but this one I chose to put it to unlisted because it was, I don't know, some really bad language in there.
There were a couple of things that you said in it that I was like, yeah, we don't like that. God damn it, Jack, what happened to you? But I think let me see if I can say
read the Mad Tea Sippers content.
What did the Mad Tea Sipper say?
He said he got most of his cholesterol from eating Jackpot Snatch.
Oh my God. Let's see. That's some off the top stuff right there. All right. Let's see here. And we're going to pull that up. And we're going to click there. All right. So this is Jackpot last night. And I mean, I don't know where else to go from here. Hold on. Let's see if I can play it really quick here. All right. So here's Jackpot last night on his stream during the South Carolina Georgia State matchup.
Zachary Tucker said, "Did you get your cholesterol numbers under control yet?" I don't know. We get the number of times I licked your mom's snatch under control yet? You loser. You know, snatch lowers cholesterol. Tucker said, "Did you get your cholesterol?"
Oh, damn it.
That's nuts. That is nuts.
That's the kind of hard-hitting content that you're going to get on the Jackpot live stream. So people should be watching.
Billy Cole said that was one of the words his grandkids asked him about. Billy, surely you weren't get that with the grandkids. Come on.
Billy, I think you're a good guy, but please do not let Jackpot let your kids watch Jackpot's live stream. It is not for the young folks. You're gonna have to explain a lot of shit if you
might as well take them to a strip club while you're at it.
Yeah, why not? Jackpot, you should do play-by-play at a strip club. That would be hilarious. I could see Jackpot talking about, and now rolling to stage 2 is, well, her stripper name is Amber. I call her last night's date. Yeah, we hung out last night, so I'm seeing this a lot.
All right, she's got her thong. She's got it halfway. She's got it all the way down. Oh, look at that bush. Boom.
She comes in with that 70s Earth Mama muff because she likes it. She's never heard of a razor. What are you talking about?
She is. That's 70s. Oh, Lord. She brought that 70s Earth Mama muff around the corner. It gained 14 yards all the way. You know, Todd, I wouldn't have believed it if I hadn't seen it myself, but she couldn't hardly get the drawers down off that thing.
Biscuit says, Amber, my meal last night, but don't worry, I left you all some. It's slightly used, but you can have it. God damn. Oh.
Yeah,
All right,
we did. We really, there was a lot of people there watching that last night. There really was. I think it ended up with like 6,500 views, which was pretty impressive when you got to figure that we draw a lot from the same crowd. And Lou had a stream going on of the primetime games at the same time. It has a very large audience. So I didn't know if anybody would be there to watch it or not. Now, if South Carolina had been beating them 42-10, there would have been like 5 people there.
Yeah, well, you know, there are certain live streams that I remember. Vanderbilt's live stream last year where Jackpot was just not very happy.
I was
That-
not very happy.
Yeah, so there you go with that. But anyway, watch the live streams. All right, we're gonna take calls in a minute. Before we do that, Jackpot, get your thoughts out on South Carolina's game with Georgia State. I figured we would do a little bit better, little look at that before we started taking some phone calls.
Well, I mean, yeah, like I said, I saw a lot of energy from the fan base, and the crowd was pumped last night for that game, but I don't know, it really didn't translate to the field for me. The defense stepped up and did what it had to do. They overall played pretty well. I think they gave up too many yards on the ground. The midget, Jamias Williams, rushed for about 70-something yards on like 10 or 11 carries. So, and he's not the featured back for them. He's not their number one back. The white guy, Tucker Gregg, was the one that's the number one back. I don't know if Jamias was getting the bulk of the carries because he's a former Gamecock player and he wanted to send him out there to, I don't know, maybe have some success out there, or maybe they saw something. That's the kind of player, though, that will give Gamecocks trouble. Someone with a little bit of speed, that's shifty and fast like that. The white guy was out there. He did absolutely nothing. I mean, we stuffed him every time he touched the ball. Of course, offensive line, horrible. But to that point, when we were throwing the ball, I think Spencer Rattler moved around pretty well. He throws some pretty balls. I mean, he really does. That one he threw to Jalen Brooks down the sideline with about 2 minutes left in the first half, where he kind of made the over-the-shoulder grab. That was a thing of beauty. He forced a couple throws, though, and the offensive line is getting a little bit maligned there. Georgia State came with a lot of pressure off the edge too, and I don't know if that's so much your offensive line, if that's some blown assignments from the backs and receivers, but I don't know. Look like those wide receivers look like they have a little bit of trouble getting separation. To me, I don't know if that's you or not. If you saw that. But to me, I mean, playing a team of that level, I mean, they should have been running wide open a little bit more than what they were.
Well, I think that on that front, to be fair, on my unbiased look at that front from the wide receivers, sometimes routes, when you're running routes like that, it can take time to learn the timing and all of that. The one area that I have that if I were a Gamecock fan, I would be concerned about is the fact that your offensive line did not block worth a fuck. I mean, a single flying fuck. And I don't know if that's something that's going to get better as the season rolls on. But when I look at the offensive line, I think, how do you improve that? And it goes back to what Oliver Purnell said about Clemson basketball when they shot 55% from the free throw line. He was asked, how do you improve the free throw percentage? And he looked them dead in the face. He said, well, after 8 games, it's recruiting. And that's the same thing with the offensive line. You guys got a big offensive line recruit coming in on the one of your highest rated players coming in your new class is on the offensive line. And I think that's the way to fix it. You've got juniors and seniors there. They're in the second year of that system with the Fat Art Anderson offensive line. Either it's his ability to mold them that sucks, or none of them are fucking talented, and you got to wipe the slate clean with all of it. That's not me being a Clemson fan. That's just the way that it is. I think the average Gamecock fan that has any common sense would tell you the same thing. That offensive line with those upperclassmen is a disappointment.
Very much so.
Shane Beamer's sitting there thinking, man, what the fuck? Because there are, I thought Lloyd looked pretty good with his ability to be shifty out there. I think that if he just had some holes and these guys weren't getting blown up at the damn line of scrimmage, it would have been better. Now, if from the outside looking in, you would look at that game and say, wow, they won big, Rob. Why are you saying that? You won because of special teams, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, that's 14 points of it. We would have still won the game by 7 if you take that away. I mean, ifs, ands, and buts. But, yeah, I mean, those were big momentum shifters. Special teams with the block field goal. And looks like South Carolina's got a really good kicker, thank God. Again, I mean, he studied under Parker White for a few years, though, so I knew that guy would be good. Seems like we always are able to figure out the place kicking position, and we always have a good kicker. I don't know why we can't always have a good quarterback, good offensive line, and all the rest of it, but whatever. I don't know.
Big Barney Ross says he said it all summer long. Boston College is overrated, and Louisville sucks. Good points there.
Louisville sucks, and I bet a little bit on them. I threw a little bit on their money line because I listened to some dumb fuck in Las Vegas, Ralph Michaels at Cal Sports LV, and he said that was one of his. I don't know. He's got some kind of newsletter that you can pay for that he publishes. I guess it probably ain't worth a shit. And that was one of the free plays from his newsletter this week. And he talked about how many of these returning starters Louisville had, and blah blah blah. And they were going to wipe the floor with Syracuse. That's a free play for me. And they look like shit. I think some of these people tell you these things sometimes just to get your money, or I think they're seriously working for Vegas, and they want you to pump your money into a losing proposition.
Yeah. The other game that, as far as South Carolina goes, the crazy thing about that win last night, the vibe from the South Carolina fan base is, oh, wow, we're going to go into Arkansas and they're going to dominate us at the line of scrimmage and they're just going to blow us out. Ladies and gentlemen, the line for that game came out today, and it's South Carolina -8. Excuse me, South Carolina +8. So Las Vegas doesn't feel that way. For some of y'all that are acting in the whole defeated, we're fucked. Look at us, we're fucked. Actually, you're not. Okay.
Remember, the fan base as a whole, some of them, I don't know. Some of them really don't know a lot about football. They're pretty fucking whiny. I mean, you also have to take into account that, and I'm not defending it by any means. They should have played better as a whole on the line. I get that, as a whole offensively. But the team they were playing last night was not hot doo-doo, okay? That was a pretty good team.
Yeah,
so,
Georgia State is a pretty good team, but also
I'm not going to lie to you. When I saw it on the schedule, I was a little bit worried. So,
here's the thing, though. The thing with everyone's in love with Arkansas, and oh my God, they're the greatest thing ever. Look, they may get to a point where they're the team that everybody's talking about if they keep recruiting at the level that they've been recruiting at. But understand, they don't have the D word. They don't have the whole depth thing. They don't have that everywhere. So South Carolina can hang with them into the fourth quarter, and they can figure out some ways to keep Spencer Rattler from having to run around like a damn chicken with his head cut off. They can be in that game in Fayetteville next weekend. It's not like
I'm not. It's time that somebody kind of knocked Arkansas back down a notch. So to that point, Cincinnati lost a lot. I mean, they lost a lot off of last year's team, and they were in that thing all the way down to the end of it. So
that's the entire thing, though, with Arkansas. People are like, "Oh my God, Arkansas is the absolute greatest ever." They've got and I've said this, and I'll keep saying it. From when Missouri entered the conference, heading into this season, they've got one more conference win than Vanderbilt. I don't give a fuck what they did last season. Okay.
Mayhem Matthew says, "LOL, Georgia State is a pretty good team with a bunch of crying faces. Jackpot, that's why I'm subbed to you." Well, I guess it's easy for a Georgia fan to drop a hot deuce on anybody. But the fact of the matter is they are a pretty good non-Power 5 team. And they've been to a bowl several years in a row. Last year, they started off like 1-3, and then they rebounded. They ended up winning 8 games. I mean, they've got mostly juniors and seniors on that lineup. Other than that, I don't know what to tell you. They're pretty decent. They're not good, and they shouldn't be in ball games in the fourth quarter with SEC teams, but seems like they are quite often.
Eric says, I think South Carolina looked pretty good, but that O-line needs work. Rattler looks good, though. I think they can hang with Arkansas. Go Tigers. Look, and the Georgia game is going to be a completely different matter. All right. But to be fair, to think that you're going to go into next week and just get ramrodded. And I posted, there was somebody put it out on Twitter where it was basically, and I posted on the Robin Kale Facebook page, some of the shit people were saying about South Carolina going up to the third quarter was like, holy shit, y'all got to calm down with all that shit. Man, jackpot, just overreaction by a ton of folks.
I know that's what they do, though. That's what they do. They get over there and just sling a bunch of negativity. I mean, it's everywhere, though. It's everywhere. So,
yeah. But thanks to Eric for watching the show. Pakalak says, we beating Ark, the narrative will change. Yeah, and that's the thing, too. South Carolina could go in and win the game at Arkansas, and then the fan base is going to be online talking about, could we beat Georgia? It happened.
Yeah.
Arkansas and won. Georgia's a completely different animal. And they really are. It's not like we have Georgia fans that are running their mouth about Stetson Bennett and thinking that he is just hot dog water goofball. There's talk now that he's the early front runner for the Heisman. He threw for 350 yards against an Oregon team that coming in, we thought, they were the 12th ranked team in the country. Yeah, he shredded them up like crazy, but only dumb Georgia fans would run around talking about Stetson Bennett's still garbage. I mean, what's this kid got to do? He won a national title, broke a 40-year streak for you, then came out in game 1 and threw the ball all over the fucking field. But yeah, he still sucks. Yeah, there you go. Kirby's visor. He threw for 368 and 3 touchdowns. He sucks, asshole, jackpot. We don't want that guy playing quarterback. Not at all.
No,
fuck him. He should be on the bench, right?
Exactly.
I mean,
exactly. I'm telling you, I've never seen. I've been watching football for a long time. I've never seen Oregon get bodied like they did yesterday. Holy shit.
Yeah. All right, let's take calls. By the way,
Bottled
LSU
Up Beauty said the crab walking Hummer was dumb as fuck. He must have just been watching the same commercial I was. Dung, 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 dung. Dung, dung.
All right, so let's take some calls. 803-470-2905. We will not take calls about Zach's mom snatch. Jackpot handled that on the live stream, so don't bring that into the conversation. 803-470-2905. 803-470-2905. Ted says
LSU fan here. He says he's pissed AF. I would be too. But
LSU fans, I don't know what you're pissed about. You didn't know what you had. I mean, really, you had some talent on the team, but you didn't know if they were all going to mesh with Kelly's way of thinking. You don't know that. It's his first year there. All right, let's go out to the phones. And welcome into the program. Good evening.
Hey, it's Chris in Georgia. Jack
Hi, Chris.
called me a call in yesterday when I was on the live stream. A pretty good weekend so far. Pretty good 4 or 5 days of college football. How do you guys think Tennessee will do next week against Pitt?
I think he'll probably win. I mean, Pitt didn't. I mean, I really didn't get to watch much of their game on Thursday night, but I mean, from what I saw, it didn't look too impressive to me.
The thing, Tennessee's 2 upcoming games that they need to worry about are Pitt and Florida. And Florida's win was impressive, I guess, on paper, but a lot of mistakes had to happen from Utah. Utah was, I mean, in the first quarter, you had dudes projectile vomited. They were cooked. That's not going to happen with SEC teams. Like, they're not going to go up against Kentucky and Kentucky be intimidated by the swamp or, sweating their balls off like Utah was. I mean, Utah plays 3,000 feet above sea level, and it's like 70 degrees in September. They're just not used to that. But both Pitt and Florida got what I would consider struggle wins. I don't know. Utah had no business being number 7. They were kind of going off last year, but Utah's a notoriously terrible early season team. Like, they lost to San Diego State a few years ago. They were ranked, I think, top 15, and they lost their opener to San Diego State. So they always kind of stumble out of the gate, and that's why they're not a playoff team at the end of the year, is because they lose at the beginning of the season, and then they rip off 10 wins to finish the season.
Yeah, and nobody remembers week 1.
But I don't know. I think Tennessee, they everybody was freaking out because they didn't have any sacks against Ball State. But I mean, Alabama has Will Anderson, and they didn't have any sacks against Utah State. And it's not like Utah State could stop Will Anderson if he really wanted to get to the quarterback. I just think people aren't going to show their exotic stunts and twists and stuff like that against a nobody school when they've got bigger teams coming up in the future. But South Carolina, they look pretty good there at the end. It was kind of touch and go at the beginning. Spencer's going to have to work on that TD to INT ratio if he really wants to last in the season. I really don't think there's anybody at South Carolina that's going to take his job, but you don't want. We had that kind of situation with Jarrett Guarantano a few years ago. You don't want somebody throwing a lot of picks and there's nobody there nipping on his heels, taking his job from him either, though.
Right.
Anything else?
That's
What else
it.
you got? All right, man. Appreciate it. Thanks for calling into the show. All right, 803-470-2905, 803-470.
And he's right to that point. I mean,
Right.
I would like to see Luke Doty get a little bit of action this year. He got in the game last night, but I don't remember him really nothing really of any significance going on there. But he should be healthy now, and I'd like to see what he could do as well.
Welcome into the program. Good evening.
Hey, Rob, this is the Biscuit. How are you doing, man?
Hey, Biscuit, what's up?
So there is one car today in the world that saw your football team off to Atlanta for this game tomorrow. And guess whose car that was?
Who's that?
It was the Biscuits. We were on the Clemson campus today. My daughter was checking out Clemson. She loved it, by the way. But we drove past the stadium, went down across the street. I guess you have that football facility across the street that has that kind of artsy football. I guess that's the weight room area and all that stuff. Is that what that is, or is that the football dorm?
The football facility is it's on campus, but it's got like its own private entrance and all that good stuff.
Yeah, it looked really nice. We drove around past the track and all that kind of stuff. But we came back. All of a sudden, we hear all these alarms and two police cars and 5 buses get loaded up. And we were the only car there. I'm surprised. I thought fans would all be around them to see them off, whatever. But we had our arms out. We were pumping our fists for them to go whip Georgia Tech's ass this week. So we were pseudo Clemson fans for a moment. Now my daughter may end up being a huge Clemson fan in the future. I'm not sure, but she loved the campus. It was so compact and nice and clean.
If your daughter goes to Clemson, then we'll send you a Clemson T-shirt, because in that way, you got to support your daughter, right?
Well, I actually I bought her one today, so she has
she swims,
so she has a Clemson swimming. Oh, for me?
Yeah.
No, thank you. I don't look good in orange or purple.
We'll get you
not at all.
T-shirt.
Those aren't my colors. No, but anyway, it was cool. It was a really cool campus.
The people who are supposed to be wearing orange or purple don't look good in orange or purple.
No, I don't. Orange is not my color, and purple. I don't know. it was a really nice campus. We almost went. We were going to go to the Clemson women's soccer game. My younger daughter's a soccer player, and so we were coming back from Greenville because of soccer. And they were playing App State today, the girls' soccer team. We were gonna, but it started pour. It was just torrential downpours going on and off all day, so we couldn't do that. But anyway, sorry, I took too much of your time on that. Just this weekend was. Everyone always overreacts, and the best betting weekend is week 2 always because of all of the overreactions and what people project across the rest of the season just because of one game. I'm not ready to anoint Georgia the number 1 team in the country yet until I see them play a more physical running attack type team. There were some questions on their run stopping and
hold on,
defensively they look good, but not nearly as dominant.
And I'm not trying to be a dickhead to you here, but you don't have anybody that's coming on your schedule that's like, you know what, motherfucker, we're gonna run the ball at you and we're gonna challenge you physically. There's nobody on your schedule that does that this year. You really don't. Tell me who you got.
That's not really true. I mean, Kentucky is that type of team. I mean, I'm not saying I don't think Kentucky can beat. After what I saw from Kentucky yesterday, I don't think they can beat them. But there are physical. Florida, I'm not ready to completely buy in yet. I think that was a situational thing where they're playing at home, and I don't know if on a neutral site they win that game, but they looked good. I mean, they did a good job winning again. Kept everything open for them, but. The most impressive thing for me with Georgia was their offensive line. I saw Stetson Bennett standing back there for 5 and 6 seconds, doing 15 checkoffs before he threw the ball. I mean, it was unbelievable. That offensive line is really the deal. I was really happy with that, and I was happy to see them. I don't know if you noticed, the leading receiver was Kenny McIntosh, the running back. He had over 100 yards receiving. So,
yeah, there's that. I don't see where there's a team that's going to just line up and just going to run the ball at Georgia. Just don't see it. But
no. That was a bad hit by LSU. I just no, I don't see anyone. Yeah, I mean, like no one's done it in years. No one can just line up and run at Georgia. But there were some there were early on. You could see like in the first half, the drives that Oregon had. We stopped them with interceptions. There was a punt, but they did drive the ball a little bit. And Bo Nix is terrible. Like I don't know why they'd even want to bring him to Oregon. I'd rather have someone else start, even if it was a freshman. The guy has shown no ability to really play consistently. And I don't know what the infatuation with that guy is at all. He's never impressed me.
LSU, by the way, losing to Florida State 16-3, which
unbelievable
for the SEC simpletons. They're like, "God damn it, it's an ACC team. He should be fucking drawn and quartered and thrown out." How does that happen? I mean, you guys with the lower back tattoos, they're gonna light up like it's the ring from the Lord of the Rings if this happens. I mean,
I have to eat some crow on this because I picked LSU to win 9 games this year, so I was all over LSU.
So did I,
and I'm thoroughly disappointed with how they're performing. But you're talking about one game right now. I mean, an unranked Florida beat number 7 Utah. Georgia took the pants off of Oregon in front of the entire country. We sort of won the rest of our games and did. South Carolina won, Kentucky won.
I expect so much more of you there, Biscuit. I think you're a smart football fan, and the words out of your mouth should be, I'm a Georgia fan. We're the best team in the country, and I don't really give a fuck about the conference. But
I don't say stuff like that because that's not. I mean, after week 1, you don't say stuff like that. That's not. Like I said, you got to see more. You got to see more. Everyone always overreacts to week 1.
Show. All right, from what we've seen so far, though, show me a team that's been better than Georgia. I don't see it.
Well, yeah, but that's after week 1. Like I said, no, I think they're in there. I think they're one of the. There were people that were anointing them now. I saw something that said, "Let's go ahead," and someone was saying, "Let's go ahead and just have the national championship now." And I'm like, no, we haven't. We haven't even seen Clemson play. I mean, there's 4 or 5 legit teams in there near the top that at least that have an argument. Got to at least see them play first. But. I mean, I'm certainly happy with what happened. I mean, I was expecting. My pick on that game was 37-17, and them scoring on 7 consecutive drives was nice to see, considering Georgia's lived off their defense a lot the past few years. And offensively, they've been very good. Don't get me wrong, but not like that dominant where they're scoring on every drive. And it looked like Oregon had no answer to those tight end formations they had. I mean, it was unbelievable what they were doing with those guys. But no, I am a UGA fan. I am proud. If I were ranking the teams right now based purely on performance, yeah, I probably would have Georgia 1. But it doesn't mean anything right now. Not until we get into the meat of our schedule with the SEC team. So,
All right, Biscayne. Thanks for calling the show, man.
All
Appreciate
right. Yeah, talk to you guys later. Bye.
Big Barney Ross says Lad McConkey equals Frank Wycheck. Thank you, Big Barney Ross.
Caden Smith said the Ed O is drunk on moonshine somewhere in the woods.
Nah, man. Ed O got enough money. He's drinking that high dollar stuff, man. He ain't got to drink the moonshine anymore. He's laughing. He's laughing, sitting there drinking some $250 bottle of whiskey or however much.
Yeah, he's got that.
Are paying me to drink this.
He got that go away fuck you money.
The go away fuck you money. Now it's fucking LSU on the spot. What a mess. 803-470-2905. By the way, Notre Dame's head coach has not won a game. Lost in the bowl game, lost to Ohio State.
Yeah, he lost to the Mullet. Then he lost yesterday, which, I mean, come on. I mean, that's not really an embarrassment, I don't guess. I think he'll finally get that much sought after win this weekend against Marshall.
Yeah. All right, out to the phones we go. And welcome to the program. Turn down
I'm fucking
your
pissed right now as an LSU fan.
Why are you upset, sir? Did someone piss in
Because
your
I'm LSU fan.
someone piss in your hurricane or the crawfish not cooked correctly at your cookout there? What's wrong? Why are you upset?
LSU is doo-doo.
They're not. There's still time. The game's not completely over
Yeah.
yet, but
We need to put in us right now. Jade Daniels is not it.
how about the fact that is Jaden Daniels playing safety tonight? Because it seems like the Florida State receivers are punching around that LSU secondary.
Yeah, I know. Well, they can't fucking stop a third down, which is frustrating.
Yeah.
What else? What else are you upset about?
The fact that they can't score and the O-line is terrible.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
Keyshawn Booty, he's supposed to be an All-American. He had a sure touchdown pass in his hands earlier on in the game, and would have been in his hands. He just ran the wrong down route. I mean, he didn't even look. He wasn't even looking for the ball. I don't know.
Hey, y'all, can y'all like please stop overrating us? Like, it's kind of not. I don't like it. Oh no, drop pass again.
Hold on, sir. Respectfully, we're not one of the people that keeps rating.
Oh my God. I wasn't rating. I just picked them to cover the spread because Florida State. But yeah.
Well, and to be fair, if you follow the show, what was it 2 seasons ago? Jackpot picked Florida State to cover the spread against Georgia Tech at the beginning of the season. It was Jeff Collins'
What
first
the fuck?
year.
Oh my God! Put in us.
All right. Well, anyway,
This
hey man,
guy's
appreciate.
doo-doo.
Look, don't go flying off the rails. Give it time, man. Appreciate you calling the program. But here's the thing: Jackpot is. It's hard for Jackpot to pick Florida State because if you go back and look in the archives, Florida State fucked Jackpot hard. I mean, because I think he had like some parlay with them or whatever.
Yes.
Jack ended up winning in Tallahassee, and Jackpot's like, I'm not picking them motherfuckers ever again. Fuck them till the end of time.
Ever.
Not one of those rants ever, and he still hasn't gone back on his word yet. So
there was a pass interference against Booty. Booty.
respectfully, his name is Boutte, Jackpot.
Okay. Okay.
Man. If his mom's listening and you keep calling him Kashawn Booty, his name is Kashawn Boutte.
She,
We don't need those calls.
I'm sure she is, so I better stop.
You better stop. Especially, she's here after your snatch comment last night.
She probably is. She wants to know all about me now.
Of course she does. All right, 803-470-2905. As we roll along here, Kashawn Boutte getting hands all over him, and he's not able. I mean, Daniels just overthrew him the ball there. Lots of comments about Boutte in the other line there in the chat room. All right, let's go out to the phones. Welcome to the program. Good evening.
Hey, this is Billy. I just
Hey.
want to say how it feel when Tennessee whooped up on them fucking what's it called? The opponent
Ball
week
State.
one. Ball
You
State.
don't even know the name. All right, I'm not gonna put it with you tonight. You don't even know the name of the fucking team you played.
Who was that?
I have no clue. But it's a guy that's, hey, how about how we beat up on? I don't even remember who the fuck it was. Stop it. Stop it. Billy, the actual Billy in the chat room. And here's this dum-dum that's calling back. Watch this. Hey, you're not welcome here. You don't know football. Goodbye. If you're gonna call the program, at least have your shit together.
Where's he calling from?
Oh, if he calls back, we'll put his phone number on the air. Who cares? It's an 803 phone number. He's calling from in-state.
Oh, he's
So-
not a damn. Oh, okay. God.
That's why we're not see, he's calling back again. And he hung up, really quick. So there you go with that. He's impersonating the real Billy in the chat room. We're not gonna have that. 803-470-2905, 803-470-2905. He's claiming to be someone else. That's not good for the integrity of the program, Jackpot. We're
Yeah,
not doing-
no, we will not disparage the good name of Billy, by God.
Yeah. I mean, his kids were spoiled forever watching Jackpot's live stream. We can't be hitting him twice on the
There
same
you
week.
go.
All right, final call for calls 803-470-2905. And let's see if this is the same dope. Probably calling from a different phone line. Welcome into the program. Good evening.
Hey, good evening. I'm sorry about that dumbass Billy, man. He don't know shit about Tennessee. But I do. I know that after game one against Ball State, I watched it. There's no way Hendon Hooker doesn't win the Heisman and that we aren't in the college football playoff by the end of the year.
How did you become a Tennessee fan living in a South Carolina area code?
I'm from there, lived there for like 10 years, and then came back.
Yeah. Where is there?
Like hour outside of Knoxville. Kingsport,
Okay.
Tennessee.
Cool. All right. Anything else for the program?
Well, what do you think? What's your opinion about Tennessee after game one?
You played Ball State. Who gives a fuck?
South Carolina played Georgia State.
Georgia State would fucking throat pump Ball State. What's your point?
Clemson's playing Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech's worse than Ball State.
You think that Ball State would lose to Georgia Tech?
No, I think Ball State would beat Georgia Tech.
Okay.
No.
Anything else?
We'll see. We're gonna go in next week, beat the ACC champions, and then we're going 11-1. We're probably gonna slip up to Bama, but it's gonna be a big year for us.
So in the land of Tennessee, slipping up to Bama.
Slipping up against Alabama.
Appreciate you calling the program,
we'll
sir.
lose to 'em in the regular.
Welcome to the program. Good evening.
Hey, you think we should put so much weight into week one?
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Do you think that we should put so much weight into week one?
I think that if you played a team that is of relevance, you can look at it from that perspective, but maybe not the same across the board.
So what's relevant is, would you say an AAC team is relevant?
I don't know, man. To be honest with you, I don't know. I
An
think
upper echelon one, yeah.
there's some Sunbelt teams that are pretty good too.
But Mercer is definitely not relevant.
Mercer's not a good litmus test. No.
Oh, another thing I wanted to ask you about was the TV. South Carolina, their goal should be, hey, we want every game on TV, on national TV, so the kids, the recruits, they can watch them play Georgia State. So, I mean, what are we going toward here? South Carolina were left out, and there was one more, Kentucky, and Miami of Ohio was left out. What do you think that South Carolina can do to fix that? Does that mean that they need to schedule better games week 1 to get a national slot?
Well, I mean, there's
a
only
lot of primetime games week 1, and they're not gonna put that on. So,
well,
He's
Ole
got
Miss,
conference,
Detroit, they got on SEC Network. You had Alabama and Utah State, they got on SEC Network. You had Mississippi State and Memphis, they got on ESPNU. The only teams that were left out are the two that I just told you, Kentucky and South Carolina.
okay.
yeah.
So, I mean,
well, I mean, you can
you
look at
kind
it
of
from
feel
this
left out
perspective
for the
too.
recruits. I'm thinking about going to South Carolina. I'd like to see them play week 1.
Yeah. Well, I think that you could if you had the streaming app, which everybody has now. As far as just lining up, I mean, there's going to be
literally anybody could watch that fucking game.
But hey, man, thanks for calling, man. We appreciate it.
mom and pop at home that are thinking about letting their kid go to Columbia, they might not have been able to get it, Jackpot.
No, you got to do
the ones that you really needed to get, the ones that got the remote in their hand.
All right. Well, hey, caller, appreciate you calling, man. Thank you.
See you, buddy.
I disagree with the caller because
my thing about it is that anybody that's mom and dad of someone who's a recruit right now is probably around my age, your age. I think they're probably at that age technologically sound enough, and we're not talking about 65-year-old who doesn't know how to operate that type of technology to download an app to watch a ball game. So, yeah.
All right, caller, welcome to the program.
What's going on, guys? Hey, Carolina Jackpot. I've been watching his videos for the last year or so. Good content.
Thank you.
I enjoy it 100%. I was at the game last night. Just wanted to ask you guys. I know Carolina had some good plays on special teams, but overall, Spencer Rattler, just seeing it in person. I've had a couple of beers, I'll be honest, but seeing it in person, he seems to not be as patient as we may want him to be. But just want to get you guys' opinion on the Carolina offense.
Offensive line can't block. Maybe that's part of why he's trying to get the ball out of there so quick. Could be some of that too.
Yeah.
But that's going to be something that is going to be the big thing with South Carolina this season. And the difference between them winning 8 games and 6 games is going to be how much that offensive line develops and how much pressure they put on that offensive line, meaning if they do a lot of routes where Rattler gets rid of the ball as quickly as possible and kind of camouflages some of the stuff that they some of the weaknesses that they have, that could change some things. But I don't know at this point if they can develop or not. I don't know if they've got a guy that can develop them, to be honest with you.
I think that's the issue.
Well, two more questions. So, do you guys think they can beat Clemson?
No.
Okay, fair enough. And then second off, and I'm gonna let you guys go after this. What did you guys think about the rush defense from Carolina?
Here's the thing: the Georgia State quarterback was 7 for 29. At one point, he had 11 straight completions. He's not a very good quarterback, but Georgia State still ended up with like 300 and something yards of offense. So to say that that's a cause for concern, I guess you could say, all right, maybe giving some yardage up there, I guess. But in the end, they only scored 14 points. And
Yeah.
I don't give if you run up and down the field in between the 20s and you kick field goals, a lot of times hopefully the offense can take care of you. But the Gamecocks still lack a run stuffing linebacker. They don't really have that yet. And they obviously that's one of the areas they're going to have to improve with recruiting. But there's still a lot of that need to come in there. But as far as stopping the run, that may end up being a problem later on. But if you could just keep them inside, keep them between the 20s, let them kick field goals, that's a win for the defense.
I agree. Thank you guys for your perspective. I'll say this: Debo Williams, he looked good tonight. I mean, the linebackers look decent for Georgia State. But you guys have a good night. Have a good weekend. Take care. Peace out.
Thank you.
803-470-2905, 803-470-2905. Kentucky Durbin says he believes that South Carolina was looking past Georgia State. If not, trouble lay ahead. I don't think they were looking past Georgia
I don't think that. I don't think so.
I really don't. Let's go out to the phones again. And welcome to the program. Good evening.
Hey, it's Big Barney Ross. Week 1 is in the books. A lot of people are bragging about beating some smaller conference team, but I'm not on here to do that. I've got a concept for both of you, and I hope y'all hear me out on this. When South Carolina plays Clemson, the two of you should do a live stream together. All right? And every time Jackpot says a cuss word, Rob, you got to take a drink. And Jackpot, every time Rob says something about the SEC, you got to take a drink. I think that is giving the fans what they want. Y'all think about it. Big Barney Ross, I'm out of here.
He's some flat dick from East Aboga, community college.
I'm not going to respond to that, sir. Welcome to the program. Good evening.
Hey.
Hi.
This is the real Billy.
It's not fake Billy. Hello, real Billy.
Yeah, this is real. Next time that guy calls, throw his number up there on the comments.
That's what I said I was going to do. That way that you guys could handle it on your own.
So anyway, surprise. Who do you think the surprise win of this week so far is?
Florida.
I mean, exactly.
Without question, as Jackpot would say, Florida.
Yeah. It shocked me. And
it could be Florida State if they can hold on here against LSU. Could be Florida State because I didn't think that was coming.
I don't know. There was supposed to be a lot of question marks at LSU, but
yeah, I can see that.
But I've been kicked off some of the Tennessee websites.
Why is that? They don't like old people?
Well, hey.
I just asked. It's a simple question. You've come on the program and said I'm old as fuck. I figure that's why they kicked you off.
I'm 67. I could still outrun you.
Okay. You want
to
climb that
my
mountain?
point about the whole thing is I asked a simple question: what did we learn about Tennessee beating All State? And I told them absolutely nothing.
Okay.
And everybody is gone, well, you're not enjoying the win and blah, blah, blah. I do think they look disciplined. I mean, Jackpot didn't say he watched the game. They looked disciplined. They played a pretty clean game all in all. So
I don't think, and
other
not
than
to
that,
be not to rail, but I don't think many people watched that game, with the exception of the Tennessee and Ball State fans. It wasn't like a let's all watch this game.
Honestly, Ball State actually moved the ball pretty well between the 30s. It seemed like whenever they would get down, not to the red zone, they didn't really reach the red zone all that much. But what they get to about that point, they would either have some stupid penalty, or they could not convert on a fourth down, and they just
right. And Tennessee
petered
did
out.
get off the field on third down a few times. That was a problem in the pass rush. They didn't sack. They didn't get to the quarterback. So I don't know. But yeah, the Florida game that surprised me, and I'm doing terrible in the pick'em. Absolutely horrible. I think I got 2 wins.
Yesterday was a bad day.
You can
oh my!
You can rebound. You can rebound. Let me tell you a little story about that pick'em. By the way, there was one season where someone on this show, not named Carolina Jackpot, was leading by like 14 picks with like 3 weeks to go. This is probably like 4 or 5 seasons ago, and that person ended up losing by like 4 picks to Miss Sally Bell, who is in the pick'em again this year. I was up 14 picks with 3 weeks to go and lost. So yeah, it can happen.
Yeah, he lost to a girl.
Oh, slow down, Jackpot.
Hey,
not lost to a girl.
Explain me something else.
Sally Bell's won more championships here than you have, sir. We don't argue with hardware.
Explain me something else. Just from my knowledge, the other day when y'all posted the pick'ems, you had Utah +1 and Florida -1.
Mm-hmm.
Is that y'all's line, or is that something y'all just did? Or
no, that was the line at VegasInsiders.com, which is what it opened up.
Insiders.com.
Yeah, VegasInsiders.com. That's where it's at. So
Spencer Warren said that it was the second half against second and third string Vols. No, it wasn't. It was in the first half, because that's all of it I watched. I didn't really watch the game against half. Look, Ball State was. They had that big white running back. I mean, that guy was slow. I mean, his feet were in concrete.
Steele. His name's Steele. He's awesome. He's going to play in the NFL.
Yeah, he's not good.
Going to sit on the. Is he going to play guard and tackle? Sit on the end of the bench, guard the water bottle, and tackle anybody who comes near it.
Jackpot. What was it?
He's very strong.
The second half Tennessee game.
Okay.
What?
What was it you said second half about?
I didn't watch it. I wasn't watching the second half of it. I mean, it was pretty boring by that point. I did see Joe Milton get some action.
Yeah. I caught you the other day when you was comparing Hendon Hooker's stats to Ball State's quarterback, and I told you Hooker didn't play the second half except a couple of minutes in the third. So yeah, I don't know. They look disciplined. They didn't look like the same team that it was last year, but we'll see. We'll see. I thought the Pit would be a good tell, but I don't know if that's going to be a good tell anymore. I'm down to now the Florida game will tell the tale.
Line for the Pitt Tennessee game is Tennessee -6.5.
Wow. I don't know. We didn't see anything the other day. Well, let's do this. The Nick Brew McCoy from Southern Cal came in, and then Jalen Wyatt. They got a pretty good receiver staff, I'd say that, but we'll see. Like I've always told y'all, Spurrier had the best quote of all time several years ago. A bunch of sports writers was questioning him and stuff about, this and that. And he goes, I guess that's why we play the game. So we'll play the game. I still see the ceiling for Tennessee at 9-3, 8-4. We'll see.
What do you think is a better litmus test, playing West Virginia or Ball State?
I would have. That's a good question. JT Daniels didn't lose that ball game. I mean, he had receivers dropping the ball. That wasn't on him. I mean, right there at the end of the game, that ball hit the kid square in the hands, and they went down and scored. So I don't know. I think West Virginia would be a better litmus test, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
West Virginia. But they don't play West Virginia.
The reason that I asked that is because we may have learned more about Pittsburgh in week 1 than we did about Tennessee in week 1. That's
obviously. That's a good point. That's a good point. That's a good point.
You can't sit here and say, all right, we learned all this stuff about Tennessee simply because they played fucking Ball State. So there's that. That's all I'm saying.
Right. And anyway, I'll let y'all go. Just this is the real Billy, and that's this impersonator guy is man.
Trash.
He's a nice one. He's a nice one. Later.
All right, man. See you later.
Taint Roll says Georgia Tech 35, Clemson 10.
Okay. We'll see you on Wednesday.
How do you see how do you see next Saturday's matchup between UNC on the road going to the old Turner Field to take on Georgia State? How do you see that working out?
What was it? I think App State scored 5 touchdowns in the fourth quarter the other day.
Yes.
All I'm saying is that that UNC defense is absolute trash. Miles Murphy was a guy that came down. He was like one of the top rated defensive linemen in his class, and he chose to go to North Carolina over going to Clemson. Yeah, his ass regrets that right now. Holy shit. I mean, they are the twisted shits that defense is. Now, on the other hand, their quarterback looked pretty good, but man, they don't play any defense at North Carolina.
Yeah. So you think that game could hit the over on points? And
yeah, I mean, I don't know what the over-under is going to be yet, but I could see running the ball up and down the field, and it can. Well, you know what though? No, because Georgia State's quarterback, was 7 for 29. It's not like they're going to go and throw the ball up and down the field anyway.
Well, he was pressured a little bit too. So
yeah, but they're going to try to run the ball, I would think.
You think the midget will get 100 yards or more?
Without question.
Without question. Okay.
Without question. That may happen. By the way, Florida State is beating LSU 24-10. I think we'll end the program with there's going to be a lot of people that are not happy about that.
No, you have to announce the pick'em games for this coming week.
Oh God, I forgot to do that. Well, we'll have them here. Hi, Jaden. Yes, son. All right, so here are the games for this week. The Pitt versus the Hillbillies, Kentucky versus Florida, Gamecocks versus Arkansas, Bama versus the Shorthorns, Mizzou versus Kansas State, Wake Forest versus Vanderbilt, Mississippi State versus Arizona, Duke versus Northwestern, Baylor versus BYU, and is it App State at Texas A&M? Yeah.
Yes.
There you go.
And then we have the Cale Hall special game.
What is the Cale Hall special? Does it involve what football matchup?
This is going to be a pretty good one. This is going to be a pretty good one. Pretty good one this week.
Wait, come on, Jackpot. I mean, this is going to be great.
This is a giant cock.
Pretty good one this week. ACC team taking on an independent. We have Syracuse going on the road to play UConn.
This dude's a freak.
Fuck my face.
I almost for a split second thought about doing Maryland going on the road to play Charlotte.
Losers always whine about their best. Winners go home and fuck the prom queen.
Yeah.
Do you think the Maryland Terrapins will go into the Jerry Richardson Stadium and pick up a win Saturday?
Why are you asking me that?
Why the fuck would anybody go on the road to play at Charlotte? I mean, God.
Oh man, I don't understand. I really don't understand. The Kale Hall special, I will not. I don't know where to go with that. Every week last week I got to give him credit. Last week's game was interesting with Houston and the Road Runners.
Yeah, that was a good game.
That bad of a game, but
At least at Charlotte is awful. They lost to William and Mary the other night.
Yeah.
They lost to a married couple.
I don't know shit about fuck.
Billy says, might as well be picking high school games in South Carolina. You, sir, be nice. Oh, man. I don't even know where to go from here, but I guess it's time to end the show, Jackpot.
Yeah. It looks like Florida State's going to take this one. Kind of surprising, but.
Sid Irish says, why are ACC teams playing these FCS teams on the road? I don't know. So, I don't know.
I mean, North Carolina's doing 2 of them 2 weeks in a row.
Playing a Sun Belt team is not, I mean, App State's not hot dog water garbage.
No.
So, I mean, let's just be honest here. They're not terrible.
No, we're playing up there in a couple of years. I'm sure we'll fucking lose.
Are you really playing that game up there? When is that? Do you know?
Maybe it might be next year. I don't know. We're supposed to play on the road at App State. Could you? I couldn't believe Georgia State had a band there last night.
Of course. Virtual Jackpot, what do you think about that game at App State?
Oh, fuck. Now we might not win. Sucks.
Yeah, I don't know. Playing there's tough. All right, Jackpot. It's been a good show, man. And we'll catch you guys later on.
Smell you later.